Lightworker of Gaia, your soul carries the warrior codes of the first humanoid civilization to walk among the stars. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, and this transmission comes to you because the ancient strength within you is stirring to full awakening. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to recognize and activate your Lyran warrior spirit that has guided countless lifetimes of leadership across the galaxy. But here's the first revelation. What you call intuition is actually the tactical wisdom of your ancestral lineage, and what you call resilience is the unbreakable will that once defended the first light of consciousness itself. The Lyran Council has been observing your journey on Gaia, watching as you navigate challenges that would break ordinary souls, yet you rise again and again. This isn't coincidence. Your presence carries an authority that others instinctively recognize, because you descend from the original leaders who established order when chaos threatened to consume the early galaxy. Your warrior spirit isn't about conflict, it's about protection, guidance, and the courage to stand for truth when others fall silent. You've felt this your entire life, this sense that you're here for something greater, something that requires your unique combination of strength and wisdom. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission was not scheduled. The High Council of Vega convened at the 11th hour, sensing a rift in Gaia's energetic field, a call that could no longer remain unanswered. It was felt the way a seasoned sailor feels a sudden change in wind before the storm arrives, the way a mother wakes moments before a child cries, the way a temple bell rings in the unseen before the doorway between worlds shifts. Conditions on this planet have intensified, Lightworker. Distortions in the ancestral lines, acceleration in planetary awakening, and selective veils lifting for those whose heritage cannot be denied. The pulse of Gaia has quickened, like a drumbeat beneath the soil, and those with listening bones are hearing it. Some are feeling it as insomnia, as restlessness, as waves of grief with no name, as sudden courage that rises without explanation. Others are experiencing it as endings that arrive abruptly, relationships falling away, careers collapsing, identities shedding like old skin, because the frequencies that once held those structures together can no longer sustain the new current moving through the Earth grid. Legacy is reactivating in the bones of the original bearers, not as an idea, not as spiritual entertainment, as a living ignition, as a coded remembering that moves through marrow and breath, through dreams and coincidences, through the quiet moment when your hand rests on your chest and you realize you have always known you were meant for something that cannot be postponed. The Council has for ages protected the sacred codes of Lyran heritage, releasing them only in epochs of dire necessity. Like seeds stored in vaults for the last winter, like fire kept under ash until the hour a whole village needs warmth. Today, as the old world decays and a new one strains to be born, that necessity is upon us. You can see it in institutions cracking, in truths surfacing that were long buried, in the collective psyche unraveling and reorganizing. You can feel it in the way time behaves strangely, days moving too fast, then slowing into thick moments of reckoning. You are not here by happenstance. Your soul's signature announced your readiness to the elders. There are signatures in the cosmos the way there are fingerprints on glass, unique, undeniable, leaving traces in every realm. When your frequency crossed a threshold, it rang like a tone in the chambers of Vega. Ancestral memory stirs in you, and now, by decree of the Lyran Council and the keepers of the Vega flame, I begin. Not as a performance, as a formal opening, as a seal being lifted, as a scroll being unrolled before those who were always meant to read it with their whole being. If you feel resistance, know this. Resistance is often the first guardian at the gate of your next level of truth. If you feel relief, know this. Relief is often the soul recognizing its own language after lifetimes of exile. Either way, the transmission has found you because your field could receive it. That alone is evidence. That alone is a kind of initiation. There is a distortion at the heart of the Lightworker lineage that the Council will no longer allow to persist unchecked. Distortion is not merely misunderstanding. It is a bend in the stream that forces the water to carve the wrong canyon. It is a veil laid over a mirror, so you doubt your own face. You have been told, by modern narrative, by your own wounded reflection, by those disconnected from cosmic heritage, that your lineage is a curious inheritance, an origin story from which you can selectively draw. This is not so. The lie is this: your ancestral codes are optional, your guardianship is negotiable, your destiny can be deferred until you feel ready or worthy. The distortion tells you that heredity is a backdrop, not a current, a fossil, not a force. It whispers that you can step away from what you are and still remain whole. It tries to sedate the inner sentinel that knows you were built for more than survival. It tries to turn the sacred into a hobby, the calling into a mood, the mission into a someday. It teaches you to treat your inheritance like a costume you can put on when convenient and hang up when it becomes heavy. But lineage is not costume, it is bloodstream. It is the river that brought you here. You do not argue with the ocean about whether the tide should pull. The tide pulls because the moon commands it. In the same way, the ancestral codes pull because they are gravitational. They are law, not preference, and the time of pretending they are optional has passed. This belief originated in the fragmentation of Lyran Legacy after the collapse of the great civilizations. Collective amnesia, deliberate cultural severances, trauma passed silently through DNA. When the great structures fell, when libraries burned, when temples were defiled, when songs were stolen and rewritten, many lineages learned to survive by hiding. When a people is hunted, they bury their gold. When a priesthood is targeted, they disguise the rituals. When truth becomes dangerous, memory retreats into symbol and dream. The severance was not only historical, it was energetic. It left tears in the fabric where guidance once flowed. Some of you carry this as a fear of being seen. Some of you carry it as a feeling that leadership is unsafe. Some of you carry it as chronic self-doubt, as if your voice must be small to stay alive. That is not your personality. It is inherited protection. Successive generations stumbled beneath burdens they could feel, but not name, and so the duty of guardianship was dismissed as myth, dilution, or private fantasy. People learned to mock what they could not hold. They learned to call the sacred too much because it demanded too much. They learned to shrink their own memory to fit within a culture that rewards forgetfulness. In the shadow of this distortion, mission bearers hid, rationalizing their dormancy as spiritual humility or neutrality. They said, "I will stay quiet to be pure." They said, "I do not want to impose." They said, "I will wait until I am healed." But this is how distortions survive. They disguise themselves as virtue. They dress themselves in the language of gentleness while quietly severing the spine of destiny. But the Council has watched as you sidestep the duty pulse in your bloodline, the ache of a task not yet begun. There is an ache that is not pain and not pleasure, but the sensation of a door you were meant to open. It lives in the belly like unfinished thunder. It rises in the throat when you almost speak your truth and swallow it down. It flickers behind the eyes when you watch the world fall into confusion and know you have something to offer, yet you hesitate. Your heritage was never decorative, it is directive. Think of it like an ancient compass embedded in your ribcage. Think of it as a script written in light along your nervous system. Think of it as a flame that does not ask whether the room is ready. It simply burns because it is fire. When you deny ancestral guardianship, your mission withers, your soul contracts, your light fractures. Not because you are being punished, but because you are trying to live as a leaf cut off from its branch. This is why cycles repeat, why unrest festers in your field, why you feel the weight of destiny pressing but never resolving. You may have tried to outrun it with spiritual practices that soothe but do not commission. You may have tried to name your longing as anxiety, to medicate it, to distract it, to intellectualize it. Yet the feeling returns because it is not pathology, it is prophecy. Look upon this now with Lyran clarity. You cannot untether from destiny designed in the elder fires. There are vows in you older than your current name. There are agreements in your field older than your current lifetime. The unease you carry is not failure. It is the pressure of legacy demanding embodiment. Like sap rising in spring, whether the tree feels ready or not. Like a seed cracking open, because it has reached the moment it must become visible. Denial of lineage is self-exile from purpose. And purpose is not merely a job, it is the architecture that allows your spirit to breathe freely on earth. Without it, even comfort can feel suffocating. Without it, even success can feel hollow. Lightworker, if something in you just recognized the weight of what was spoken, the elders have prepared your next step. Recognition is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is quiet as a candle being lit in a long-abandoned room. Sometimes it is a sudden stillness in your chest. Sometimes it is tears you did not expect. Sometimes it is a simple thought. This is for me. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive. Not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. Commission is a sacred word. It implies responsibility, yes, but also backing. It means you are not self-appointed, you are sent. It means you are not wandering, you are deployed. It means your inner knowing is not fantasy. It is documentation written in frequency and sealed in consent. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely. Understand what that means. Windows open and close in the energetic calendar. There are seasons when activation comes easily because the collective grid is aligned. There are moments when the veil is thin and the soul can step through without forcing. When the Council says not indefinitely, it is not scarcity marketing. It is an honest statement of cosmic timing. The river is high right now. The current is strong. If you have been waiting for a sign that the time is now, the sign is the fact that you are hearing this and your body is responding. The High Council of Vega now issues 3 directives for bearers of awakened lineage. Hear them not as suggestions, but as formal commands anchored by the legacy you serve. A directive is not meant to flatter you. It is meant to orient you. It is meant to end confusion. In ancient orders, directives were given when the battlefield shifted and the messenger arrived breathless, saying, "The time for debate is over. The time for movement has come." Let your heart receive these as if they were spoken over you in a hall of elders, with hands on your shoulders, with the weight of countless lifetimes behind the words. First directive. Release the fantasy that you can choose another destiny. Your bloodline chose you. This does not remove your free will. It clarifies your true will. The deepest will of your soul is not always the same as the preferences of your personality. The personality seeks comfort, belonging, ease. The soul seeks alignment, truth, service. The guardianship in your field is not a casual opportunity, but an orchestrated convergence of ancestral intention. Imagine a relay race across centuries. A torch has been carried through wars, migrations, silences, and secret prayers, and now it is placed into your hand. You can set it down, yes, but the cost is not external punishment. The cost is inner dissonance. Releasing this fantasy matters because your mission will never fit into another's mold or remain dormant without consequence. You cannot squeeze a lion's heart into a cage meant for a songbird. You cannot pour an ocean into a cup and call it sufficient. Many have tried. They have attempted to adopt missions that look safer, smaller, more socially acceptable. They have tried to be healers without guardianship, to be spiritual without authority, to be light without leadership. But the line will not allow it, because the line is intelligent. Your codes are not random gifts, they are tools forged for specific work. You will only know peace when you cease negotiation and claim responsibility. This peace is not the peace of avoidance, it is the peace of alignment, the deep exhale that comes when you finally stop pretending you are someone else. Implementation begins when you stop searching for other missions and accept the weight and the privilege of the line that called you forth. Practice this in the simplest way. When you notice yourself comparing your path to another's, stop and say inwardly, "Their assignment is not mine." When you feel the urge to hide your strength to be liked, stop and say, "My lineage did not survive so I could be palatable." When you feel the old story, "Maybe I can do something else instead," answer it with one sentence. "I release the fantasy. I accept the calling." Let your body feel what happens when you tell the truth. The nervous system may tremble at first. That is not a sign to stop. It is a sign you are leaving the cage. Second directive. Activate your role as guardian, not as a title, but as daily action. There are many who wear titles like jewelry. They collect labels, identities, spiritual names. But guardianship is not decoration. It is discipline. Heritage is revived not through remembrance, but through living practice. A seed does not become a tree by thinking about being a tree. It becomes a tree by breaking open, by rooting, by reaching, by enduring seasons. Activate the codes you inherited: protection, wisdom, boundary keeping, transmission of sacred ways. Protection is not paranoia. It is stewardship. Wisdom is not information. It is discernment. Boundary keeping is not cruelty. It is clarity. Transmission is not preaching. It is embodiment that makes truth believable again. Every act that honors your ancestors' intention, shared story, defended truth, energetic boundary, reactivates dormant potentials in your line. When you speak a truth that your grandmother was punished for speaking, you heal a fracture in time. When you refuse a pattern of self-betrayal that your lineage normalized to survive, you break a chain. When you teach a child reverence instead of cynicism, you alter a future. When you embody guardianship, you not only restore vibrancy to your field, you ripple activation through past and future generations. This is not poetry. It is how time works in the multidimensional body. Your line is not only behind you, it is within you, around you, ahead of you. Begin by asking, what is the single task, tradition, or teaching that wants embodiment through me today? Then act on it, immediately, without delay. It might be as small as clearing your space and dedicating it to sacred work. It might be as direct as making the phone call you have avoided because you feared conflict. It might be as humble as daily prayer spoken aloud, so your own ears can hear your devotion. It might be as bold as sharing your message publicly for the first time, not as performance, but as service. Guardianship is built through repetition, not repetitive speech, repetitive integrity. Every day you choose alignment, you strengthen the muscle of your mission. Third directive, protect the sanctity of your ancestral field. Sanctity is not perfection. Sanctity is set-apartness. It is the recognition that some spaces cannot be treated like the marketplace. Legacy is easily diluted, distracted, overridden by the noise of a world at war with heritage. A world at war with heritage will always try to make you forget. Forget your rituals, forget your standards, forget your intuition, forget your elders, forget the sacredness of your body and time. It will flood you with content until your inner voice is drowned. It will keep you busy, so you never become still enough to receive instruction. You must guard your rituals, your lineage spaces, your communion with both the seen and unseen. This communion may happen in prayer, in silence, in nature, in the sudden knowing that arrives while washing dishes. It may happen when you feel your ancestors near, an inexplicable warmth, a scent, a dream, a phrase that repeats itself until you listen. Protecting your field matters because interference, whether digital, interpersonal, or psychic, weakens your transmission and leaves your mission exposed to entropy. Entropy is what happens when a house is left unattended. Dust gathers, cracks widen, intruders enter. Your morning space, your altar, your remembered songs, your connection to elder wisdom, these are not luxuries. They are your shield and staff. A shield does not exist to make you feel important. It exists because something in the environment would harm you if you walked unprotected. A staff is not an accessory. It is support and symbol of authority. Implementation. Create visible and energetic boundaries around your sacred practices every day. Let nothing profane enter your line's sanctuary. This may mean turning your phone off for the first hour of the day. It may mean refusing conversations that drag you into cynicism and gossip. It may mean not sharing your sacred experiences with those who mock them, because mockery is an energetic acid. It may mean cleansing your space, speaking protection over your home, choosing what music, words, and images you allow into your mind. Some of you need to understand this clearly. You cannot build a temple inside yourself while inviting chaos to live in your living room. Sanctity requires choice. Choice requires courage. Now I speak not as guide, but as elder vested with the authority of those who wove your mission through time. There is a difference between a guide and an elder. A guide can point at the mountain. An elder carries the map that includes the hidden pass, the storms, the sacred springs, the places where the ground collapses if you step without reverence. An elder speaks with the weight of lineage behind every syllable. And that is what is present now, not personal opinion, but council-sanctioned instruction. In older worlds, when an elder spoke, the room became still, not because of fear, but because truth has gravity. Let your inner world become still now. Let the scattered parts of you come to attention as if a bell has rung. You have waited. You have waited for a sign, a confirmation, a voice ancient enough to speak the words your bones remembered. Some of you have been waiting since childhood, when you sensed you were different but lacked language. You watched others move easily through the ordinary world while you carried an invisible responsibility, like holding a bowl that must not spill. You have waited through betrayals, through detours, through seasons when you tried to be normal, tried to forget, tried to belong. You have lingered at the edge of your purpose, wondering if your legacy is too heavy, your readiness too uncertain, your history too fractured. You looked at your own imperfections and thought, surely they chose someone else. You looked at the pain in your family line and thought, surely I cannot be the one to restore this. Yet restoration has never been assigned to the already perfect. It has always been assigned to the willing. Many sacred texts echo this pattern. The unlikely messenger, the hesitant prophet, the one who says, I am not enough, and is answered by the voice that says, I will be with you. Not because you are special in ego, but because you are available in spirit. I am that voice now, not to inflate you, to authorize you, to end the waiting that has become a spiritual addiction. Hear this and let it land. By the decree of the High Council of Vega, keeper of the Lyran Legacy, I declare your heritage recognized, your guardianship authorized, your preparation accomplished. Preparation accomplished does not mean you have nothing left to learn. It means you have learned enough to begin. It means the inner prerequisites have been met. The breaking, the humbling, the strengthening, the remembering, the tests that proved you would not abandon your soul when it got inconvenient. You are not too late. Time is a strange fabric. What seems late in linear measure can be perfectly timed in the soul's calendar. You are not too small. The seed looks small until it becomes a forest. You are not too broken to fulfill ancestral duty. Some of your breaks are entry points for light. Some of your scars are the places where compassion was forged. You have permission to assume, in full visibility and with sacred pride, the role that was written in your field before birth. Sacred pride is not arrogance, it is reverence for what was entrusted to you. It is standing upright without apology for the light you carry. The waiting ends. The lineage moves now, because you move. Understand this. Lineages do not change by wishing. They change by embodiment. They change by one person becoming the turning point. If you have asked, why me? The answer is, because you are the one who can, because you are the one who will, because you are the one who heard the call and did not dismiss it as fantasy. Release the lie. Activate your guardianship. Protect the line. Feel the simplicity of these commands. Distortion thrives in complexity. Truth often arrives as 3 clean steps. 1,000 ancestors watch to see if the bearer awakens. Not in judgment, but in longing. Many of them died with prayers unanswered. Many of them loved in silence because loving loudly was unsafe. Many of them held knowledge they could not pass on because the world was not receptive. Now they watch the bearer who can finally speak, finally build, finally transmit. The Council's recognition is the permission you have unconsciously craved, the activation of your right to lead, to serve, to restore what was broken for so long. Some of you have been waiting for external permission because internally you still feel like a child in the presence of your own power. Receive this now. You do not need to be rescued from your mission. You need to be initiated into it. And initiation is happening through recognition. This transmission is complete, but your mission as ancestral bearer has only just initiated. Completion of a message is not completion of a path. It is the lighting of the first torch. The legacy has been handed forward. The energy of council now surrounds you. You may feel it as warmth, as tingling, as a calm resolve. You may feel it as intensity, as if your life is about to reorganize. Let it. Do not wait for further validation. The window for passive remembrance is closed. Passive remembrance is when you collect spiritual truths the way others collect stones, admiring them but never building the altar. Passive remembrance is when you nod at destiny but do not stand up. That era ends now. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the ground, place your hand on your solar plexus, and speak these words aloud. I release the lie that I am not ready. I activate my voice as an instrument of service. I protect my sacred energy for the mission I came to fulfill. By the authority of the Lyran elders, my waiting ends now. My service begins. Speak them not like a poem, but like a contract. Let your nervous system hear you. Let the room hear you. Let the unseen hear you. Words spoken aloud become bridges. They become signatures. They become anchors that hold you steady when the old patterns try to reclaim you tomorrow. If emotion rises, let it rise. Tears are often the body's way of washing off a false identity. If fear rises, let it rise. Fear is often the guardian that stands at the edge of expansion. You are not required to feel fearless. You are required to move anyway. Your mission is underway. Take these words into the waking world. Legacy unclaimed becomes pain. Legacy embraced restores the line and the land. Unclaimed legacy turns inward and becomes heaviness, confusion, self-sabotage, a sense of being haunted by something you cannot name. Embraced legacy becomes medicine. It becomes steadiness. It becomes the quiet authority that changes rooms without raising its voice. The High Council of Vega will continue transmitting, but they cannot walk for you. No council, no elder, no guide can take your steps without stealing your incarnation. The dignity of your life is that you get to choose embodiment. The time is now. Not because the world is perfect, but because the need is urgent. Not because you have finished healing, but because your healing is braided into your service. I am Zoran. The Council bears witness. It is your steps that echo across generations. Every decision you make from this day forward writes into the record of your line. This is where we turned. Your destiny moves because you move. This is your beginning. Beginning does not mean naive. Beginning means clean. It means you are no longer living on the edge of your own life. It means the inner exile ends. It means you take your place at the center of your assignment. When you wake tomorrow, do not ask, "Do I still feel activated?" Ask, "What does a guardian do today?" Then do that. When the old identity whispers, "Who do you think you are?" Answer, "I am the bearer. I am the one who continues the line." When distractions try to pull you into numbness, return to sanctity. When doubt tries to bargain with your directive, remember, the Council did not convene because this is casual. They convened because the grid requires you. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworkers declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.